Hey everybody, thank you for joining me in another video. If you saw my recent videos this past month or two, 2020 was already being highlighted as a real biblical apocalyptic year. Right from day one in January, Australian bushfires, incessant amount of climate change reports, locusts going from East Africa all over at the worst the United Nations have ever recorded, and now spread from East Africa through the continents up to Russia. But as the coronavirus is now taking the full attention of the world and the media, we're not hearing of these other things anymore, amongst others. Is this a sense of misdirection for the power elites to really look into vaccination, population control, the human cull? Is it actually things coming up where World War III is already in its way? We're not just speaking about the Russian manoeuvres that have been unprecedented in the last couple of weeks. 7 warships around the UK. I mean, if any time was a good time to attack the West before it builds up even further surrounding Russia and China, now would be a good time when we're at our weakest. The economy's being drained, people are afraid. This is a weakening of time. The stock market's crashing for the worst. It's been the worst ever since capitalism began. Forget your dot-com crash, forget your 2007-2008 recession. This is the worst since the beginning of capitalism. It's been stated on news and everything. The World War III's began through digits and numbers, through the stock markets, through the sanctions, and it is the West coming up against Russia, China, and some of the Far East, Middle East nations and Asia. The build-up is coming and coming and coming, and for some reason they have to do certain things for these 7 billion people on the planet in order to keep us contained. Is that true? I would love to know your comments on it. Personally, I think there's too much in it. Some people think this is the way of getting rid of the elder population with this coronavirus. I don't believe so, because the numbers aren't enough, not so far anyway. It is affecting all people, not just the elderly, although they're more susceptible to death with it. But out of the 7 billion people on the planet, we're still speaking in hundreds of thousands of deaths, and yet we never hear about those who are surviving. So that's not a good enough reason to think this has been deliberate for that. One thing it is good for is climate change. Have you noticed some articles on social media, maybe some news have picked it up? Venice, for example, the waters in the majestic place and oasis of the sea in Venice is absolutely beautiful again. They've been seeing dolphins swimming up for the first time in years and years. The pollution in the air is much, much less. I mean, how bright, how beautiful are these days right now? How fresher is the air? And as you know, from January, the climate change took a massive dramatic landing on us on the TV. It was just constant day after day. It was like a major campaign. Before then it moved into coronavirus. There's good things happening because of that, and maybe if it's an intention to clear it up and they have to keep us in lockdown through a bit of fear in order to give the earth that chance, then fair enough. Of course it's still happening. Countries will come back to normal and then it'll start all over again. So a short-term effect for that is still not a good reason, although it has good potential right now and it is doing something good. My problem is if they lift the lockdown, whether it's been made in a laboratory and it's been allowed to spread, still one person gets it, or whether it's in the wet markets of China, one person contracts it from a bat or an animal or whatever. Apparently a tiger in New York's got it as well, so what's happening in terms of what animals get it, if any? But let's say the one person that gets it then spreads it to a couple of others who then spread it to more. The lockdown comes and it dies off, of course. The spread is gone, but if the lockdown comes too early and there's at least one person with it, doesn't it all kick off again? It's nothing to do with the climate, because I know I have friends in Dubai and Abu Dhabi It's 30 odd degrees heat over there already. They're all in lockdown, just like many other nations around the world with the heat. It's nothing to do with that. So what happens? Does it have to be a vaccination? And Bill Gates seems to be the scapegoat, all about these conspiracy theories and the face of the major elite, billionaires looking for the vaccine. Look how easy channeled humanity has been to close all its churches of the world, to everyone staying at home, following these guidelines. The government and media have shown how easy it is to manipulate us and how easy it is to put fear into us. What happens because I've said it so long that we now believe we have to protect others, we have to save our NHS, we have to save lives, we have to protect our economy, our medical staff, we have to protect this to get it over with. If you don't get a vaccine, you're going to be seen as an enemy of the state. But many people, if you want to trust it that easily to get one, then get it. But what happens if there's more sinister plans? Maybe all these conspiracy theories might have an actual point to make. You know, if you look at certain things of quotes of different people, even Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, says if he had to come back and reincarnated, he would come back as a human pestilence to do his part for depopulating the world. Many of these people believe that the ideal population of the world are roughly 2 to 3 billion people. We're already at 7.5 and it's climbing faster and faster and faster. There's things in place where this is to happen. There's a lot there to think about, but what do you think? I'd love to hear about it. Yeah, so is this coronavirus being done deliberately as a human cull? No, not enough people being killed by it, not even enough elderly who it's affecting the most. Is this a step towards a vaccination that then can progress further into a human cull? Then the potential's there, yeah. And the manipulation's already there for people to follow suit and do it. Look how easy we're following this guideline right now. What happens then because of the cashless society? That's always been a thing amongst many, is the mark of the beast, the chip and pin. Right now, handing over cash all the time is put into our heads how easy things spread. We're already using chip and pin for many years. This is the next step to really put it in our head it's best and more safe to have a chip and pin. Look at certain things Bill Gates been saying or what has been quoted and what others are saying as well. So yes, the potential, and this is a step towards something else. Just with the prophecy side, this is a precursor, a step towards what other things have to be fulfilled, and they are being fulfilled. Watch the videos and they will stand to testimony when it happens. These things are happening. It's definitely not a time to be afraid. It's definitely not a time to cause panic and worry. We're in it now anyway, especially in most countries like here in the UK. It's all part of daily life now, working from home, not working from home, self-isolating, get your daily walks in, have some fun in any way you can, through social media or in your home with your own family. There's many things that are good, but I feel as if we don't want to be caged hens. We don't want to be free range chickens even in the best of days, but right now we're getting more caged in and we're getting more easily manipulated into what might come. And the reason I say that is, if I was this gazillionaire major elite person at the top of the tree or within that type of company, even if I was the Antichrist, if I was looking at the world right now, look how easy it's been manipulated. Look how easy it was to close the churches and the mosques. Not a single bullet fired, not a single riot. How easy it was to get people to do it as I said, but as these governments have said all in the one. The fact that people like Gordon Brown are speaking out for one world government, the same with the Canadian Prime Minister. Listen to the things that's coming about, they're little indicators. Now if I have then to come supreme leader of a one world government, surely this would be my time to really say, it's possible. Think about it. As always, everybody stay safe. Easter blessings to you all, and God bless you.